Domk.
Are you serious?
Friday nights, 11 till midnight. Indie, local, rock, Domk.
All clear?
97.5 KMOD.
Yeah, you're listening to the DOMKcast with Lunchbox and Promo Brady. Upcoming weeks. Next week, I'm actually going to be taking the week off because I got a little vacation planned. My love affair with Las Vegas continues. I'm going to spend the weekend out there, probably gamble all my money away, then be back here a few weeks from now. We're going to have the guys from Greta Von Fleet on with us. August is shaping up pretty nice. You also got the Butcher Babies, Johnny Hawkins from Nothing More. Expect all that. But tonight, we got the guys from the Normandys with us. What's going on? What's up?
Hey, fellas.
What's up?
All right, I got to get everybody's name.
Yeah, I'm Weston Horn.
Pete Webb.
Jay Horn.
Sean Deegan.
Les Hodge.
Welcome, guys. Now, we're familiar. We've been playing some songs from the Normandys for months now. You guys were a part of Rocklahoma Madness. You got down to the Final Four, ended up losing out to Machine in the Mountain, and also Less Than Human was the eventual winner. But you guys actually played the Axis stage out at Rocklahoma, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's
Sunshine made the best stage there, you know, as far as being in the campgrounds and all that stuff. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, by far.
They take care of you. It sounds great. The bands feel like rock stars for a day.
Now, Pete, formerly of the band Failsafe, so obviously you've been around for years and you've seen the local music scene grow. Kind of talk about, you know, a lot of the bands, the growth of a lot of the local bands and the places downtown that you can play now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the Brady district has really taken off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, back when we were when I was doing Failsafe, you know,
You were a young pup then.
I was very young.
Yes, you were.
For sure. And I drink a lot, so my recollection of this could be totally skewed.
It could be totally screwed. It could be totally.
But you know, back then it was like if you wanted to play a bigger show, it was Kane's Ballroom. Kind of still the same now, but there's a lot of Vanguard, the Shrine, and places like that are starting to get some of the more national acts coming through, and you can tag along on some of those shows and stuff. And I just think that the local music scene has become more diverse. I feel like, you know, the punk rock scene is coming up. I feel like, you know, the bluegrass and you know, some of the more rockabilly type stuff. It's all just seems to be like it's all raising up a level.
Yeah, I definitely think like the venues, there's more venues for people definitely downtown. It almost seems like in Tulsa, I don't know if you kind of look at it like this, but the different areas of Tulsa, like there was always there for like a long stretch. Brookside was like the place that all the bands played. Yeah. And that kind of died out. And then it was Cherry Street for a little bit. Now it seems to be downtown. Like downtown is laced with
we only had
places.
like two places downtown. It was like Curly's, Cane's.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I remember Curly's.
Once the Cane's light went off, you had to get out of downtown,
right?
Or something was going to happen to you. So now it was like, since all lit up, we got all these places. I think it's grown so much since then, because when you were with Failsafe, I always saw you at the Cane's. Right. I like lived at the. You lived there too. It's pretty much. It seemed like basically. And he's like, "All right, the street light's about to go off. We got to go home. We got to get.
Go running."
Yeah, I think the diversity too of the venues as well has been really cool. I mean, because you have like Guthrie Green, which is that amazing outdoor venue downtown, and I think it's because of the diversity of the venues, it's drawn a lot of diversity in the music as well. It's cool.
Well, let's talk about the Normandys. Now, I was reading up on you guys, and you're described as working class punk rock. I think is one of the things I read. Is that a good description of what you guys sound like?
Yeah, that pretty much does it. Yeah.
Okay.
We all have jobs, which is kind of counter to normal punk rock environment.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, because usually in punk rock, either you work because you do that, or I'm in punk so I don't have to work.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like one or the other. One or the other.
I always cracked up in like the early 2000s, the bands that they were calling punk rock, like Simple Plan, A Good Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like, punk,
Yellow Card and stuff like that.
Come on.
The production era.
Yes. Yeah. It's prefabricated stuff, man.
It's
That's
like
not punk rock.
You can blame Green Day for it, but don't blame Green Day for it. It's like, you don't do that. It's like, I love Green Day, but it's Green Day's fault, but I love Green Day.
It's sort of like Dr. Dre kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't murder, but it was a manslaughter.
It was very good analogy.
He ruined
it.
Not on purpose.
He made it better.
He just made a lot of money.
And
it was great for him. And then after that, it went downhill.
Yeah. Because we talk about it all the time, because when I first started listening to punk, it was just Minor Threat, Dead Kennedys, DRI, Black Flag.
Yeah.
Of course, Misfits. And as you get older, people get older, and next thing you know, Good Charlotte's punk?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Then you're that old guy.
You're the old guy. I'm the old guy. Back in my day.
Which, have you heard Glenn Danzig's new stuff? That guy, his voice. Not that he had the best voice in the world before, but nowadays, like his early 60s, and you're like, don't sing.
It's like you have to hear it, but then you're like, why did I listen to that? Yeah. Because to me, Glenn Danzig has always been like the man above all.
Yeah, right.
Yes, for sure. Damn, he has a good voice. And then we played his new stuff. We're like, he sounds like a 90-year-old with an ostrich mask guy in a wheelchair, ready to go into a nursing home, trying to do his damnedest to be 20 years old again. And I felt so bad for him. It's like, oh, my hero is withering away. It sucks.
That's kind of the story of the Normandys, though, too. Just like a bunch of us wishing we were in our 20s.
The luxury of punk rock is even when you're in your 20s, you're jaded. But as you get older, you're still jaded. You're just constantly jaded.
Right, you're just old.
It just changes environment as you get older.
You're just older and more bitter.
Instead of yelling about your parents, you're yelling about work.
You yell about different things.
Yeah. When you're older, you're mad about the younger generation. Right. Everyone's mad at everybody.
We can stay mad.
You can stay mad. It's hard to stay mad being punk and have kids. That's even harder.
He's got to act like you care.
Yeah. You have to care.
And that's why.
And you have to love.
You don't have kids.
Pete found a meme the other day that was like, for the punk rock shows nowadays, you have to be 16 to get in, and what was it, like 45 to play?
Yes.
I love that.
I was downtown, like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? And apparently there was a punk rock show going on at the Vanguard. And all these, I mean, they had to be like 12, 13 years old, spiked hair, mohawks, like old school, like chains, steel, I mean, like back in my day, high school. Right. And I looked at him, I was like, hey, where are you going? Why you care? I'm like, you little punk. I will stomp you in the ground because I was like you.
One of the originals.
Tell me, why do I care?
It's like, Brady, we played that show.
Oh, see?
That was Pete. That was Pete. What do you care?
I'll take your anarchist jacket away from you right now. Send you home to your mom. Jeez.
The punk rock is almost becoming like a fashion statement of sorts. I was going, I'm thumbing through Facebook, and Kendall Jenner is wearing like a Misfits shirt, or if it wasn't Misfits, it was something close to that. I'm like, name me two songs.
Right.
That was so funny about playing that show downtown with all those people dressed up in like full leather, and it was like 100.
Yes.
And it was like,
and they had ammunition on.
Yeah. And I just remember like Pete and I were walking down the street, and Pete was eating a pancake, and we were just wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and we're like, this is punk rock, kids, right here. This is punk rock. Like, all that leather.
No.
And it's almost maybe that we're kind of jealous too, because we're old and we can't grow mohawks anymore, so it's like we have to immediately just turn on it. It's like, we're too old. We're more mature.
That's the luxury.
Like, no, we just are kind of bald.
You just don't care.
You just don't care. I mean, there was some good-looking mohawks. I'm not going to lie. Flying hard and blue and blonde and red. Yeah. They were nice. But
how long did it take
How long did it take you to do that? Iron it out on your mom's ironing board spray. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Gotta get those spikes just right.
And you act like you don't care what it looks like. Right. You spent 3 hours on it.
You spent 3 hours acting like you don't care.
I don't care what it looks like. What do you care?
Oh, man. Well, let's talk about your upcoming show, July 29th at the Vanguard, and talk about some of the other bands that are going to be on that lineup as well.
Well, we're going to have Wither. I think you've played some of their stuff.
We have, yeah.
Going to have Pawn Shop Heroes.
It's going to be great.
Yep. And then Weston here, we have his band, Weston Horn and the Hush. They're going to be opening the show, and they're amazing. All the bands that we got, we picked them. They're friends of ours. They're bands are amazing. We just think when we put this together that it was going to be like the most epic local live show to go out and see.
Yeah, because all these guys are super talented. Super good.
It's a very high energy bill for sure. Every one of these bands is very energetic and really fun to watch. So it'll be more of an entertainment show than necessarily just like going to hear music as well. So
right.
Well, yeah, get the ticket info at the VanguardTulsa.com. And we got to talk about you guys' album, Booze, Bitterness, and Broken Hearts, which I love the name.
Fantastic name.
It's punk rock.
Yeah, that's right.
And old age.
And old age.
I think Jay kind of coined that album title.
Yeah. I just came up with it. It sounded cool, so that's my only contribution to this band.
Came up with the name.
Right.
That's the important part, man.
I'm kind of running on that for a while, and as soon as they get tired, then I'm probably out.
That means you always have to write things down in notebooks,
I gotta come up with another title.
Now, see, Jay actually never has any notebooks. He writes everything on paper plates.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yes, so if you ever come to our show and you see us looking at paper plates, we're not hungry.
Okay.
We're looking at our set.
I was like,
I still think we should have some Normandy's commemorative plates made and sell them in the merch.
I like the merchandise.
I have so many merch ideas that these guys won't take me up on. I just want to start bringing stuff from my house and selling it back there like a yard sale. And just be like, I got shirts for sale. And it's just like, that's an old
AutoZone
That's an old Abercrombie button-up from senior year.
We got a used weed eater.
I got this lawn chair that one leg is kind of broken.
So where can people find you guys' album?
You can find it for download anywhere that you prefer, iTunes, CD Baby. You can get a physical copy mailed to you. Certainly come to the shows, and we'll have plenty of CDs there. That's where we'd like to really get them sold to you.
Yeah.
Because they make money.
Exactly. Well, because we feel like our live show really speaks a lot for our band. I think that anybody that's ever come out and seen us play, that's been the big takeaway from that, is they're like, dude, your live show is intense. It's awesome. You guys are all just energetic, like Weston said. And so, if you want to get a CD, come to the show. And
I think we were really lucky because I think whenever a very high energy band tries to capture that on a CD, it's so rare that actually comes across. And I feel like the CD does do it justice. So it's kind of cool, and I think that's why we've been so lucky to sell so many CDs, is just because of the fact that they really are. When you hear a CD or something online, and then you go see the band live, and it's like, oh, this is awful.
Oh, yeah.
This is not what I heard.
They had some help in that.
We're the same level. We're the same level of awful live as we are on the album.
Keep it consistent. Yes.
Yeah. Totally. I always hate that feeling, like whenever, you listen to a song on the radio or something like that, something that's popular. Theory of a Dead Man would be a great example. And you're like, okay.
I'm calling him out.
Like that.
Theory of a Dead Man.
Yeah, you guys see him.
Be appearing on the show.
They won't be doing a
They play so many Rocklahomas, and when you play them on the radio, they sound like Theory of a Dead Man.
Yeah.
Until you get them on a stage, and you're like, what the F is this?
And here's 14 other bands we'd like to call out.
Yes.
I'd like to take this moment.
I'm not going to lie. Theory of a Dead Man. Right there.
Let's try and alienate as many of your clients as possible.
Yes.
It's a fact, though. It's a scientific fact that Theory of a Dead Man does not sound good live as they do on their CD. Scientific fact. I'm sorry.
I love that.
That's,
While
so
we're
what's
on that subject,
let's stop a ton of them.
let's talk about some local bands.
So what's you guys mentioned your high energy shows. What's the craziest thing that any of you guys have done on stage at a Normandy show?
That's the sad part, is we're not really that crazy.
No.
I just think it's always fun because Jay, the front man, is one of the best front men in the freaking state for sure. And it's just like, it's really fun.
Now we're going to compliment each other. You're good too, Weston.
I'm just fishing for
the big circle jerk.
No, you're the one.
I'm sorry, I derailed your point.
You go. It's really fun because Jay has this knack for just disappearing into the crowd with the microphone, and it's always fun to see like what that ruins when that line goes taut, and it's like.